the Arkansas Bridge where cars turn off their engines and drift uphill. In the Ozark Mountains of northern Arkansas, there is an old concrete bridge that crosses a shallow creek. It is not marked on most maps. It has no historical plaque. The road leading to it is dirt and gravel, winding through dense forest, and if you didn't know what you were looking for, you would drive right past it without a second glance. But if you stop your car in the middle of that bridge, put it in neutral, and turn off the engine, something impossible will happen. Your car will begin to move. Not forward, not downhill toward the creek. It will move backward, uphill against the visible slope of the road. This is not an optical illusion. This is not a trick of the landscape. This is the Gravity Hill Bridge, a place where the laws of physics appear to bend, and where the local legends are so disturbing that most people refuse to test the phenomenon after dark. Because it is not just the cars that move. Something else moves too. Something that waits in the woods. Something that watches from the creek bed below. Something that, according to the people who have experienced it, does not want you to leave. Let me tell you the story of the Arkansas Gravity Hill. A story that begins with a tragic accident and ends with a question that no one can answer. What really pushes the cars? The bridge was built in the 1930s by the Works Progress Administration. It is a simple, single-lane structure with low concrete railings and an arched underside. It spans a creek called Wolf Branch, which is more of a rocky trickle than an actual body of water. For decades, the bridge served local farmers and logging trucks. It was unremarkable. Ordinary then, in the spring of 1957, something happened that changed the way people thought about that bridge forever. A school bus was returning from a field trip to a nearby state park. It was late afternoon. The bus was full of children, kindergarten through third grade. The driver, a woman named Clara, had driven that route hundreds of times. She knew every curve, every pothole, every tree. But as the bus approached the Wolf Branch Bridge, something went wrong. Witnesses said the bus began to accelerate. Not gradually. Suddenly, as if something had pushed it from behind. Clara pressed the brakes, but the brakes failed. The bus swerved, hit the low concrete railing, and plunged into the creek below. The impact was devastating. 12 children died. Clara died. A few children survived, pulled from the wreckage by rescuers. But they were never the same. Some refused to speak. Some had nightmares for the rest of their lives. And one little boy, a 7-year-old named Samuel, said something that investigators dismissed at the time as shock. He said the bus had not crashed because of bad brakes. He said something had pushed it. Something with hands. He said he saw the hands press against the back windows of the bus just before it went over the edge. He described the hands as pale, too long, with fingers that bent the wrong way. No one believed him. The official report concluded that the brakes had failed due to mechanical issues. The bridge was repaired, the railing was rebuilt, the road was reopened. And then the reports began. Drivers who crossed the bridge at night began to notice something strange. Their cars would stall, not sputter and die, just stop. The engine would cut out completely. The headlights would dim. And then, after a few seconds of silence, the car would begin to roll. Backward, up the slight incline of the road, away from the creek. At first, people assumed it was a mechanical issue, a weird magnetic field, a geological anomaly. They brought out surveyors. The surveyors confirmed that the road was indeed sloped downward toward the creek. A car in neutral should roll forward, toward the water, not away from it. So what was pulling the cars uphill? The legend that emerged in the wake of the accident offers an answer. It says that the children who died on that bridge are still there. Their spirits linger at the site of the crash, and when a car stops on the bridge, the children believe it is the school bus. They believe the driver is Clara, and they push the car away from the creek to save it from the same fate they suffered. That is why, according to the legend, the car rolls uphill. It is being pushed by the hands of dead children. And if you get out of your car and look at your back bumper after the car has moved, you will find something that defies explanation. Small handprints, child-sized, pressed into the dust on the metal, handprints that were not there before. Skeptics, of course, have tried to debunk this for decades. They say the handprints are a hoax. They say the rolling is an optical illusion. They say the entire phenomenon is a combination of Gravity Hill geology and the power of suggestion. But the skeptics have not talked to the people who live near that bridge, the locals who have seen things, the hunters who have heard things in the woods after sunset, the teenagers who have taken the dare and come back changed. One local man, a lifelong resident of the area, told a story that he rarely shares. In 1987, he and his brother were driving home late one night. They crossed the Wolf Branch Bridge. Their car stalled. They put it in neutral. It began to roll backward. They laughed it off. They had heard the legend. They thought it was funny. Then they heard something. A sound that was not part of the legend. A child's voice, coming from outside the car. A little boy's voice, clear as a bell in the silent night. Don't stop. Keep going. He's coming. The man looked out the window. He saw nothing. Just the dark trees and the darker creek below. But his brother, who was in the passenger seat, saw something else. A figure standing on the edge of the bridge. Tall, thin, its arms hanging too low. Its head tilted at an angle that made no sense. Pale hands, with fingers that bent the wrong way. The brother screamed. The car engine suddenly restarted on its own. The man floored the accelerator and they sped away. They never drove across that bridge again. What is the connection between the hands that pushed the school bus and the hands that pushed the cars? Is it the children trying to save travelers from the same monster that killed them? Or is it something else entirely? Something that uses the legend to lure people in? There is another detail that the local legends rarely mention. On certain nights, if you stand on the bridge in complete silence, you can hear something moving in the creek below. A wet, dragging sound. Like something heavy being pulled over the rocks. And if you lean over the railing and look down, you might see a shape. Pale, elongated, crawling along the creek bed. It does not move like a person. It moves like a spider with broken legs, and it looks up when it feels your eyes on it. The Arkansas Gravity Hill Bridge is still there. It is still open to traffic. The county has talked about replacing it for years, but every time they schedule the demolition, something happens. Funding falls through. Equipment fails. Workers refuse to show up. The bridge remains. If you ever find yourself driving through the Ozarks and you come across an old concrete bridge with no name and you feel your car slow down for no reason and you see a mist rising from the creek below, do not stop. Do not put your car in neutral. Do not test the legend, because the children might be trying to help you. But something else is down there. And it has been waiting since 1957 for someone to stop and lean over the railing. Don't look down. Sleep well.